RX Zone PSA, take one.
I don't know my line.
The Omega RX Zone is not a diet, it's a plan.
A plan to maintain wellness in your whole body for the rest of your life.
Because life is important.
Fish oil is important.
But not just regular fish oil. Pharmaceutical grade fish oil.
What are you doing here today?
We're here developing PSAs related to pharmaceutical grade fish oil, tying into Dr. Barry Sears' book, The Omega RX Zone, which deals a lot about fish oil.
So, you may be asking yourself, what's the difference between the Zone and the Omega RX Zone? Well, Barry Sears wrote the Zone book 7 years before he started experimenting with high pharmaceutical fish oil.
There are three main components to the Omega Zone diet. Balancing your protein and carbohydrates at every meal, that's very important. What that does is it controls your insulin levels. Your caloric restriction without hunger or deprivation is the second step. And the third step is supplementation with high-dose fish oil. What that does is it alters your eicosanoids.
Well, the Omega RX Zone by Dr. Barry Sears is essentially an addition to his original diet book, The Zone. Think of it as an expansion pack. Sure, you may have the basic Zone diet, which you can be satisfied with, but there's also the additional RX Zone, which, like I said, deals with the fish oil. It's like adding on can only better your experience with the Zone diet as a whole.
So who is Barry Sears?
Barry Sears is a biochemist who developed an interest in the effects of fish oil on human diet, which is a huge component, basically the main component of the Omega RX Zone diet.
Eicosanoids are essentially what Barry Sears calls it, the super hormone. It is produced by every cell in the body and controls every aspect of the body's function. For example, eicosanoids can raise blood pressure or decrease it. Eicosanoids can increase mitosis or decrease it. Essentially every aspect you can possibly think of is affected by eicosanoids.
Eicosanoids that are good are anti-inflammatory. Eicosanoids that are bad are pro-inflammatory. Omega-6 fatty acids are usually bad eicosanoids, and omega-3 fatty acids are usually the good ones.
Barry Sears came out with the Omega RX Zone about 7 years after he came out with the Zone diet. And the Zone is an actual diet. There's a meal plan and everything is in it. The Omega Zone, basically the entire book, there's only about 20 pages worth of an actual diet, and only a couple of those pages actually tell you what you should eat. The entire thing is basically saying just add fish oil, high-dose pharmaceutical grade fish oil, to your diet.
Dr. Sears was so confident in his theory about fish oil that he tested it out on some Alzheimer's patients, going to see patients that had pretty much lost all brain functions, were very, very near death basically, and he gave them his brain shakes. Brain shakes.
What's a brain shake?
Brain shakes. Brain shakes.
These three words mean you're getting busy. Whoop, there it is, Hitman.
Brain shakes. Brain shakes.
Upside down and inside out, I'm about to show all you folks what it's all about. Now it's time for me to get on the mic and make this tag team party hype. I'm taking it back to the old school, cause I'm an old fool who's so cool. If you wanna get down, I'm gonna show you the way. Whoop, there it is, let me hear you say.
One tip that Barry Sears gives us is to suck on a citrus fruit 5 or 10 seconds before you take the fish oil.
Infertility can be caused by an insulin deficiency and also by an imbalance of eicosanoids. And fish oil has good eicosanoids, which are anti-inflammatory, and they counteract effects of premenstrual syndrome. So by taking fish oil as part of the Omega RX diet, the premenstrual syndrome the effects of it are counteracted, and it really helps women in that way.
You may be asking yourselves, well, where does exercise fit into this diet? But Dr. Barry Sears has a lifestyle pyramid that all dieters should follow. It's all part of the plan. At the top is your meditation. The second level is moderate exercise. The third level is controlling your insulin. And the bottom of the pyramid consists of consuming daily or pharmaceutical fish oil.
Now for years and all growing up, people have always described fish as brain food. But hardly anyone has ever actually stopped to think, what makes it brain food? Why do they call it? Well, through reading Dr. Barry Sears' book and his scientific knowledge on the subject, it's clear that, well, omega oils are polyunsaturated kind of fat, which contain double chemical bonds. Now, these types of bonds give cells the ability to have more fluidity in their nature, and due to this, they can connect to each other better, which works especially up in the brain, where nerve connections are essentially what makes a person able to think or be smarter. So when taking fish oil, they are literally taking some brain food.
Although the primary function of fish oil is not to lose weight, Barry Sears insists that after taking pharmaceutical-grade fish oil, over time, you will lose weight. It also counteracts aging wrinkles and helps your skin's complexion.
When we all first came along to the Omega RX Zone diet book, we were all pretty skeptical, but after reading it, we discovered that Dr. Barry Sears was onto something that helped America progress, because we were way behind the rest of the world. The Inuit in Greenland and the Japanese have much lower rates of heart disease and depression due to their high intake of omega-3 fatty acids.
There's about 20 pages worth of actual diet in this book. The rest is information that everyone already knew. He says right in the book that fish oil has obviously been around since there have been fish, and the benefits of it to the human body have been known for about 150,000 years. So 20 pages of a diet, and then there's about 360 pages of information that everyone kind of already knew. Basically what he did was he took the amount of fish oil that you can put into your body that will kill you, and then he backed it off just a little bit, and then all of a sudden he's a god within the fish oil and human health and wellness industry. Basically, Barry Sears could write a 400-page book on how to take a dump. Which, I mean, don't get me wrong, that is a talent that I really wish that I had, but...
The Omega RX Zone is not a diet, it's a plan.
A plan to maintain wellness in your whole body for the rest of your life.
Because life is important.
Fish oil is important.
But not just regular fish oil.